I'm going to change gears again. I'm going to talk about paperwork. And for me, when I go into a business and I start dealing with manual process, it's not necessarily paperwork, but it's manual effort. And I always ask the question of, what are three spreadsheets you're using to run your business on? Because we can probably help you, or on your own, you could find ways to use Microsoft 365 tools to do this in a much better fashion. Or they're manually creating reports, spending 3, 4, 8 hours a day, once a week, to create reports that helps them make decisions. And again, those can be automated. But in your case, are you still running into people who are doing paperwork, like physical, 8.5 by 11 inch paperwork type stuff? If so, how do you ferret that out and get some actionable items to deal with, either making the paperwork go away or improving how you're handling the paperwork?
In general, the first question I ask is what are you doing for who with this information? What I'm seeing is that the paper kind of disappears.
So I want to stop you there. What are you doing for who? It's almost like that is something you would write down on a questionnaire and really use that to drive out whether this is useful or not. And if it is useful, then great. If it's not, it's sort of a sheep and goats kind of decision making tool, if you will. What are you
Right.
doing with this for who? So good question. Okay, keep going.
Yeah, and what I'm finding out is that the 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 physical sheets of paper are either being mailed or couriered to the next person in line, or they're being scanned. So I get
Hmm.
a scan image of that paper, and then I print the scan image out, and where I'm working remotely. So the paper is being distributed, excuse me, a different way. And again, you go back to, what exactly do I need this piece of paper for? And that's where some of the automation tools are being thrown in, especially the Microsoft Works environment where you get that.
Hmm.
I had one client recently that said, after you went through this new business model with us, I discovered that about 60% of the data I was putting in my spreadsheet wasn't necessary.
Nice.
I've been putting it in there all this time, but discovered that it wasn't needed,
Because
to
that's
really
the
run my
way I
business.
was taught, or
Yeah,
some reason, right? And this is just the process. Yeah.
the
Um,
larger the organization you work with, the deeper it gets.